but it's already been mentioned as you were coming in that now famous period that you needed to go over. That you needed to go over what to play, pain, limitations of the body. What happened in that period?
He was a little bit sore. Yeah, I picked up an injury playing for Wales really well. I was starting to get aches during the season, and then it comes to a head playing for Wales, and I had to come off. But at the time I didn't think it was quite as bad as it turned out to be. And I think up until that point I've not missed a game since signed at the club, and the next game back after internationals was playing Blues at home, so it wasn't a game that I wanted to miss. And I think centre halves at the club were few and far between at that time, so yeah, I just wanted to continue playing, and it was only a little bit further down the line after playing for a while that it was perhaps a little bit worse than what we first thought.
So what happens at the point? Do you not tell anyone? Do you just train not so hard so it doesn't get worse, but then play harder?
I know the club were aware, and they were really good during the period, to be fair. There wasn't much training going on at all. I was playing the game on a Saturday and wasn't going out back on the grass until the next Saturday to play the game, which was lovely at first. Training could be quite tedious, but I think by the end of it, when I came out of the team and stopped playing, it was starting to become quite difficult.
But it was very important for you to play for many reasons. What were those reasons for you?
I think probably first and foremost was how I was brought up at home. My dad was a Royal Marine and a policeman, so there was no way he was going to let me get away with pretending I was injured. And I think the way you were brought up at Man United as a young kid, you were instilled in having values like that, and then I think the relationship that I had with the fans and everyone involved at this football club once I was here, it almost felt like it was your duty to go out and represent the club the way the fans would do if they were playing on the pitch.
I think we've seen in the way you came in, not just the drums, but the way you were welcomed by everyone, that you are a legend of the club. We know what you've done for the fans, they love you. But the other way around, what has the club done to you? What is Villa to you?
It's just my team now. I grew up as a Man United fan, but I think once you go on to have your own career as a player, that becomes less important. And I certainly enjoyed some of the other clubs that I played for in my career, but as soon as I came here, it felt special and I felt like home, and it was really difficult to leave when I did leave. But yeah, it's been nice since I've stopped. The feeling that the fans have for me and the feeling I have for the club and the fans has come full circle, and I've been involved quite a lot more since I stopped playing.
You have, and I wonder if you're going to be even more involved and in a higher capacity as the future comes, because what is it you're doing now?
Just whatever you ask me to.
There's a little bit of coaching there as well.
I'm going to stitch you up here because the coaching's not at this football club. The coaching's at Man United.
You are learning the trades that come to Villa. That's my addition to it.
Yeah, so I've just started to do some coaching. That was the last year that I thought going down, if I'm completely honest, having stopped. But the opportunity was presented to me, and it's something that I'm enjoying more than I thought, considering it was something I didn't think I'd want to do. But having retired, and it's given me some more time, and it's given me the opportunity to come back to this football club an awful lot more and do some work here, which has been really nice.
What's fascinating is that you are in that area of football in which football is going very fast, very quickly. It's changed a lot from the time where you were, what you had to do as centre back to what a centre back has to do now. But the whole pitch has changed. So you've gone from being a player that did your job very well to now you trying to understand the game as a coach. What is the biggest thing that has changed? How would you describe that transition to what football is now?
Yeah, I think the game perhaps changed as I was playing it, and as I got older, playing with players who were coming along and come through academies at big clubs, or the young boys at Villa who've been brought through the academy and we've taught to play the game completely different to the way I was. It's probably something I found difficult coming towards the end of my career, because the game has completely changed in the way it's played. And having played the game for so long, coaching is so different to playing. You have all the knowledge inside your mind, but being able to communicate that at the moment, I find really difficult.
But your brain will adapt as you adapted, otherwise you wouldn't have reached your 5-year career, so adaptation will come. But I wonder if some of that adaptation is trying to understand what happens here. At Aston Villa, we will agree what Unai Emery is at the vanguard of positional football, of the Pep Guardiola style with his own variations, of course. Is that something you look at to enjoy watching it, but also to understand it as well?
Yeah, I think the older I got even playing, you start to watch the game more to gain knowledge and how formations and how other players and managers play the game, rather than the pure enjoyment that you started to play the game as a child and watch the game as a child. I think once your legs start to give up, but you have all the knowledge in your brain, the next best thing is to try and learn and pass that information on to the players who are coming through now.
And James, what are you hearing about what Unai is doing with the players? You have to be, I'm sure you're in touch with some players, and you must hear what, I guess you're curious to find out what is it that he does, to then see again the transformation as Aston Villa has had so quickly in 2 years and a half. So what is it that you're hearing that he's doing?
A lot of long meetings, which I don't think I've gone down particularly well with. I think that's again the change that's in football. It's a lot more spending time in front of videos and screens and learning how the manager wants you to play, and also how the opposition play. I think just watching how he is on the touchline and how passionate he is about the way he wants his team to play, and how passionate he is about the football club, and how prepared he has his team to go out and face any opposition, I think is really impressive, and someone I think as a footballer you can only enjoy playing under.
There is a moment in his early days, literally early days of Unai Emery when he first arrived, preparing for the Manchester United game, the first one, and he couldn't coach the team because he didn't have all the documentation down to Brexit, so the likes of Paco had to take the team for a day or two, and then Unai just came in the last 2 days, and then you win, and then of course, for fans, I imagine, Aston Villa beating Manchester United for the first time in 27 years, new manager, and all that happening, 3-1, blah, blah, you're all so happy. He wasn't. He was completely pissed off. Because he was not done in the way that he wanted to do things. It was all the players going box to box and being crazy. That worked in the favour of Aston Villa because we got a result. But imagine being a player at that point. You come off the pitch, it's 3-1, and no, manager, I haven't done what you asked me, but we won. How would you feel if the reaction was, not that way, boys?
It's something I started to experience, I think, towards the end of my career, and I think it's a new way of managing and coaching, and I think at clubs I was at, we picked up results, and everyone was really happy coming off the pitch, but then 5 minutes later we were told it wasn't perhaps the way the manager wanted the results to be achieved. But I think to be a manager and a coach, you have to be a certain way. You're always trying to reach what you see as perfection, and to see how you want the game to be played. on the football pitch. So I think if you don't see that, then I think you can get easily frustrated.
My last from me, James prepared 3 questions from the floor, but my last from me is, you see the bench and you see Unai in a corner, and then it's Paco, and then it's Pablo, and then it's Victor, and then it's Rodri. So, 5 years time, which one is you?
I'll be whichever one of them is the good guy. It doesn't have to take any of the pressure off me.
The good cop. Yeah. You'll be telling the players, you're okay. And then you'll be told off.
I think you should be playing. It's not my decision. It's mine.
So there is this great relationship. I think one of the good relationships, and it's described in the book in detail. He says is the manager and McGinn. But the other one, because McGinn gets it all the time. Just gets it all the time. But then the other one is Morgan Rogers and Unai, and he's stick and carrot, but mostly goes like carrot, stick. And then James Chester goes to Morgan, and it's alright, he really loves you.
That would be my job, that's just
the great thing is that Morgan just goes like, it's just kicking, okay, I have to learn, and you have to play like, right, so that, I guess, this is the most talented player you've got, but also is the one that is, how can I describe it, adaptable, happy to learn, and he doesn't forget, maybe others do, that he's 22 and he's still, in a process that goes like this, doesn't it? He will get much better, and he will have his struggles as he's having now, but he's a very, very, very talented boy, isn't he?
Yeah, he's someone who I love watching at the moment. I love how he plays the game, and I think as a player, if your manager is putting you under so much scrutiny, I think it can be difficult sometimes, but it'll only be coming from a good place, because he'll be able to see more of his potential and where his ceiling is, and I think it's an awful lot higher with the talent he has than where he is at the moment, still only 22.
In fact, after 4 sticks recently, and away from everybody's eyes, it was Unai who went to Morgan. Morgan, can I talk to you? And it was like, you will have to forgive me. I'm pushing you, but for a good reason. And then just the carrot instead. And it's kind of turning around, isn't it? Not just with England. So anyway, James, where are you? There you are.
Hey James, what was your?
We want to see you.
Sorry. What was your favourite game of the last? And very quickly, has Grealish forgiven me for cutting his eye at the playing final?
I think so, because I got the invite to his 30th not long ago, so I think he's forgiven me. He'll never forget me anyway. I got asked this question recently, and I always answer the Wolves game at home when we beat them 4-2. Which was it 4-1? Sorry, my mistake. I've had too many footballs. That one always springs to my mind. But also the Bolton game at home. I think it finished 1-0. No, maybe. No, I can't remember. I had too many footballs then. But I definitely scored. And I think it was the first time that I scored in front of the whole end, and I played particularly well that day, so it would be a toss-up between those 2 games for me, I think.
Next one, James.
I can't answer that question. That's a terrible question. You?
Question over there at the end. Thanks for reaching the end, James.
So, obviously, playoff final. We went through those 2 years. But the second game, obviously, we did what we needed to do. You did your best to knock Jack out, lifting the trophy up. But how does that rank in your career as far as the moments and memories that will obviously go a long, long time, but how does that sort of pitch in what you've achieved in the game?
It's right up there. I think when I signed for the club along with everyone else that signed that summer, it was with the goal to get the club back to the Premier League, where we all felt it deserved to be with the fan base and the facilities and the ground that this club had. So yeah, it's right up there. And now that I've finished, it's something I'm incredibly proud of, and to see where the club is at now and to feel that you've played a part in that is it's a really nice feeling. It was alright.
Last question from the floor. Where are you? Ben?
So you just started coaching. Do you ever speak to past managers on what they do, what they haven't done, and how you should implement other techniques?
Not at the moment. Obviously played under a lot of managers and watched how they worked and things that they did that made me feel good as a footballer, and perhaps things that some did that didn't particularly relate with me. I think at the moment the thing I'm trying to most concentrate on is not stumble over my tongue when I'm trying to explain the session that I have planned out, which is the most difficult thing that I'm finding at the moment. Knowing when to speak, when to step in and offer advice, and when to let things flow. I think the good thing for me at the moment is that the age that I'm coaching, I know the journey that they're on, so I can offer advice in that respect, and also having played the game and had a career, I can help them certainly individually with that journey, and yeah, just growing day by day as a coach, and just watching the good coaches who are around me at the academy at the moment, and how they speak and communicate to players is something I'm just trying to take on board and try and implement myself.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's one of the good guys. Thank you.